Hello, welcome to the Empower Gaming Computer Build Show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Studio. And today, we're going to be it's already a PC that's built. It's kind of out of our norm, right? Today, we're going to be taking apart an NZXT build for a local customer who purchased an NZXT H9 build, H9 Elite. And we are going to be putting some Lian Li fans in there. So we're ideally, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? I'm Batman. I really am. Is that you over there, Joe? But we're going to be taking apart the NZXT build and replacing all of the fans in the system with Lian Li SL Infinity fans. So we've got 3 on the bottom. We've got 3 on the top, we've got 1 in the rear, and then we've got 3 on the side. We're also going to be repositioning the radiator per the customer's request to the side mount, and of course add the Lian Li fans. Also, last but not least, we're going to be doing the I'm actually down bad. Nice. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the build show, Army Vet. Welcome back, sir. Evening. We're going to be taking this graphics card that's in here and going vertical with it. I think it's the RTX 4090 that's in there. So we've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to try to have this done and ready to go for him to pick up tonight. I was supposed to start a little earlier. I was actually supposed to start yesterday. Got a little tied up with some stuff, and then today's just been all support. So I've been on the phone all day. And I am now back to building. New PC arrived, installed the GPU, but I get a white VGA light. I'm actually down bad. Oh, what's going on? Microsoft will be watching me play my games now with AI sounds creepy. Interesting, Steve. I'm Batman. Which PC did you buy? Is it one of ours? I guess I'm not relating the name with an order. What's going on, man? Army Vet, my daughter's processor was fused to her heatsink when she went to change the thermal paste. Yes, that'll happen with the stock AMD coolers. That thermal paste sticks really bad. So it does take a little bit of work and very, very careful process to remove both the heatsink and the CPU. Anytime you're removing a stock AMD cooler from an AMD AM4 socket, be prepared for that CPU to come with the cooler. It almost always does. So don't be alarmed. Just a little flathead screwdriver. Give it a little wiggle on the side. Not a ton of pressure, just a little wiggle all the way around and work it off. So I'm Batman. What's going on? Is it one of our builds? I'm sorry. If it's a dumb question, I'm sorry. I ask a lot of dumb questions. They got it apart, not sure how, but it was good experience for her to figure it out. Yeah. But also dangerous. So she didn't realize that the CPU was stuck on the bottom of that heatsink. It could have damaged that CPU. It's actually why a lot of people bring their PCs to me when they, oh, you live in the Netherlands, ordered a new PC, meaning everything apart from the GPU. However, the GPU is also new. I tried to boot it up, but no display, plus a white VGA light on the motherboard. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so it's definitely not one of ours if it's out there. But if you get a white light, where's your display cable or your HDMI plugged into? I am Batman. Where's that plugged in? It's a budget build, ordered MSI B760 Gaming Plus i5 14600KF. That's not really a budget build. That's actually a pretty decent rig. I mean, the graphics card's probably the lightest thing in there, but it's fully capable of running like a 4070 on that thing. Just as an example, it's a pretty decent build. Radeon RX 7600 XT. Okay. I mean, it's not a bad build, but if you're getting a white light on the motherboard, I tried to put it up, displays white VGA light on the motherboard. If you're getting a white light on the motherboard, that actually sounds like it's trying to post. It would be probably red if it didn't detect the GPU. Are the fans spinning on the GPU? And then second question, the dumb question, is your... Here, let me swap over to a top-down view to make this a little easier. All right, that's the side view. My bad. I also need to reposition that camera and refocus it. All right, so if you're looking at the back of your computer, because you said it was an H9, this is actually an H9 Flow that we're working on today, which is funny. H9 Flow Elite. But if you are plugging your monitors in up here, it's not going to work. Your processor is a KF, so it doesn't support onboard video. So these ports up here do not work for your HDMI or display port. Make sure you're plugging in your monitor down here on your graphics card, down here. Hey Gunswift, it's Joe. Excited to see it. Welcome, sir. I'm walking through, I am Batman, hopefully to solve his PC problems over in the Netherlands. He ordered a new PC and he was having some trouble getting it to fire up. So this is what happens when I walk around and I'm live. You get a lot of questions, which I welcome the questions. I'm definitely not at all complaining anything about the questions. This is just the nature of the business. We answer and we try to help everybody we can. So let me know if your monitor is plugged in down here or up here. It should not be plugged in up here. It should be plugged in down here. Because that white light sounds like it's good to go. Red light on the VGA would be a problem. But while we're doing that, hopefully you can use that as a reference. I'm going to start getting to work on this because we do need to get this done for Joe today. So all I've done, Joe, is unfortunately, all I've done so far is got the glass in the back panel off. So we haven't really made any significant progress here. You didn't really miss much is all I'm saying. Oh yeah, we gotta go. Click this button for TikTok. Things might get a little choppy. Thank you. HDMI is in the GPU. I also installed the GPU into a different slot, removed 16 gigs of RAM. Well, if the light isn't on DRAM or RAM, then it's probably not the RAM. If the light's on VGA, then it's got to be something to do with the VGA. What about the power cable? Do you have the power cable plugged into the GPU? And is the GPU spinning its fans? That's the next follow-up question. So that would be... okay, we gotta change that. Hold on. That would be the next question to follow up on. Is start looking at the GPU. And I gotta update the name. I mean, I don't... That all looks right. Whatever. Send it. Go, TikTok, go! So, what we're going to be doing is putting these fans, these Lian Li fans, into the build, removing the NZXT fans. So we're replacing them in this brand new NZXT build for Joe. Well, let me know, Batman, if those fans on the GPU are spinning or not. Yes, it's fully plugged in, no fan spin at all. However, RGB is on. Well, that is interesting. So if you shut it off and then turn it back on, still no fan is spinning, correct? On the GPU when it first powers on. That tells me that there's probably a problem with that GPU. And if you have already tried a different slot, you know, it could definitely sounds like it could be a problem with that GPU. Oh, come on. So that's what I would say, is it's probably a problem with the GPU. Do you have another GPU by chance to throw in there and test, just to confirm? While we're waiting, we're just going to start removing some of this internal packaging that NZXT used. I thought this design was very interesting on how they support the GPU when they ship it. Use a lot of cardboard and hard styrofoam. And a little bit of styrofoam on the side here to keep it from vibrating and rubbing up on the metal, which I think is pretty cool. Smart. But I really don't like shipping GPUs installed because they bounce. If you look at this, just this little bit of force. I'm not using a ton of force here. It bounces. And when that bounces around like that, it actually wiggles the inside the PCIe slot and causes damage. I'm really not the biggest fan of that. That packaging designed by NZXT there. Let's put the hat on backwards because we're in build mode. This Gigabyte card has this cord coming in from the back. I like that. I don't like this by NZXT, which is using the adapter here for the 4090, which is the 4 PCIe's to the adapter to the 16 pin. I don't know how much you paid for this, Joe, but in this caliber of a rig, this should be a direct connection from the graphics card to the power supply. I don't do it any other way. The reason why is because this cable here is just very cheaply made. But the fact that it's coming in from the back, I guess it helps a little bit, right? I don't know. So, all right. That would be really unlucky with the new GPU. Yeah, that would be, I know. It does happen though. But if you have another GPU, Batman over there on YouTube, I would try that other. Let's fix that exposure problem over on TikTok. Sorry about that, guys. If you have another video card over there, definitely try it out, because it would be that would be really the only way to determine if it's the graphics card or not, is just plug another card in there. But my first opinion is probably the graphics card. All right, so let's go ahead and start dismantling things. I'm probably going to pull this GPU completely out, and then we'll start tackling the side fans and the bottom fans. We'll get all the fans out, and then we'll move the radiator. We can actually try to set this up with push-pull. So the 3 fans that are on here, we'll probably put those to the back and then put the new Lian Li fans on the front of this and set it up with push-pull. Because we're going to move this radiator from here to the side. All right, let's get started, guys. Brand new PC. Let's take it apart. Oh, by the way, this connector here needs to be plugged in all the way. And when I first opened it up, before I even started touching it here, I noticed that it was not plugged in all the way. So these are things that you want to check for when you open up your pre-build. Make sure this connection on the graphics card is completed. Make sure your 24 pin is completed, and make sure your EPS cables up here are pushed in all the way. They like to bounce loose during shipping. But we're going to start by removing the graphics card. ironically. Let's just order a brand new PC and start taking it apart. That is, so we are going to end up putting that graphics card in a vertical mount, and we have the Cooler Master universal mount for this build that we're going to be putting in here. So all of these trays are going to pop out, and we're going to slide that in, drop the card into that, and we'll get the card vertical here as well. But I really hate this design. And you can even see another reason why I hate it if you look closely here. Let's try to get a zoom in on this, and you'll see why I complain about this. Hopefully here yep, you'll see that that's not a full connection. I haven't touched these at all, but you see how they're not fully seated? Those need to be pushed in all the way, and you see when I push them in, they kind of slide back out. It's because this adapter right here that's adapting these 4 cables to a single cable is just it's a piece of crap. There's no way other to put it. So a direct connection for this size of a graphics card to the power supply is almost a requirement. And I don't know which power supply they have back here. I'll look at it. We might be able to throw a cable in there. But I hate this. Sorry. I hate seeing it. Especially from a company like MZXT. They know better. Alright, let's start working on the fans. Oh, there's actually no bottom fans here. I didn't know this. I thought there were bottom fans already installed. There's actually no fans. And I want to point this out for you, Joe, real quick. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but this is actually dented here from shipping, it looks like. So there is a dent on the bottom. Not bad. And we'll be putting fans there, and I'll try to kind of buff it out a little bit. Just so you're aware, that was not me. Well, that dent is actually pretty bad. Not much we're going to be able to do about that. But there is a dent there, Joe. Stop asking. Thanks for... Yeah, no worries, man. I would say, if you know a buddy that's got a graphics card near you, have him bring it over. You're the man, Ben. I appreciate you going into detail with it. No problem. Hey, Ben, I played and beat the Hellblade 2. Oh, nice, Kenneth. Nice. Hellblade 2, you beat it? It was phenomenal on the 4070 Ti Super. Yeah, I told you that card's gonna it's gonna give you a good time. Nothing but good times on that card. Yeah, that dent's kind of a bummer. Really puts a dent. Really puts a damper on things. All right, so we want reverse fans here. We want preferably reversed fans here on the side. I don't remember if we had all reversed fans. That one's not. Can't remember if he purchased reversed. All of these look like regular. They do not look like reversed. Daisy chain. Daisy chain. Ah, here, reverse blade. I see them. Never mind. These are reversed. Reversed, reversed, reversed. We got 6 reversed. 4 regular, 6 reversed. Okay. So the sides we want reversed. The bottom we want reversed. But we'll start with the bottom since we already got that opened up. Get that done and over with. So here's the fans that we're going to be putting in, replacing all the NZXT fans that are in here. And is the Lian Li SL Infinity 120s. We've got 6 reverse. Hey Escrode, which is better, a King 95 Pro or a Landcool 216? The King 95 Pro, all day, is better than the Landcool 216. Why? Number one, there's way more customizations you can do with it, in my opinion. The front, you can either swap out for glass or mesh and add more fans to the front if you wanted to. I don't know, and just the look of it is way better. From my experience, definitely the King 95. So there is 2 different versions of that. There's the King 95, that's not the Pro, no fans included. The King 95 Pro has fans included, just so you're aware. So that's 2 different models there. One with fans, one without. So if you're putting your own fans in, go with the King 95 non-Pro. But if you're buying it with the fans, intentionally, then the 95 Pro for sure. But the 95 Pro is an excellent case. The Landcool 3 is definitely an excellent case, or the Landcool 216 is also a good case, but I think the King 95 Pro has more space to work with. It looks cooler, and you can do 2 different modes with the front. You know, it's really cool. I like it a lot. Yeah, you're right. I'm making a big upgrade and was kind of on the wall about getting a new case. Do you have the 216? Is that what you have right now? Because performance-wise, they're going to perform about the same when it comes to coolant. But look, it's pretty much aesthetics and the customizations you can do with the case. Which, like I said, the King 95 Pro wins that all day. It'll win that every time. All right, so the reverse blades make it so that we can have this facing up, and the air is going to be intake. Nice. Lian Li is kind enough to basically put peels on every little component that they sell, making it sometimes a pain in the butt to get them off. This definitely slows down the process. Hold on. So that's 1 peel done for 1 fan. And if you peel the wrong side, for some reason, you don't get the peel. Kenneth, hey Ben, so many people are leaving console to get and gaming PC and going PC. Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like I'm in the right spot. Yeah, like 216, but I don't really like the look. It's very boring. I mean, it's just your typical ATX mid tower, man. The King 95 Pro is the more modern fish tank look that everybody's looking for. I will say that the fish tank design is becoming pretty much mainstream, meaning everybody has it. So there's going to be a new design that comes out not too long from now, I'm sure. There's been some new designs out, and not all of them are very good, so it's just waiting for the next new thing, you know? All right, so now that we've got all of those peels done, we can do the daisy chain connections, which Lian Li's connection type is, I'll make sure I'm it the right way, special. Like so, they just slide in and connect. You'll see pins on the bottom that connect one another. There you go. Now we have this block of fans to the bottom. And then we need a cable for it. And we'll send that to the back. Which I'm glad you got the pack of 3 because that has the hub and the cables we need. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We have enough, thankfully. I think I have more of these too. But the ones that come with the single fans are a RGB connection and then a PWM connection. So it doesn't allow you to plug them into the hub, which sucks. So. All right. Yeah, everybody's switching to PC right now, Kenneth. It's been like that since, I feel like 2019 is like when the big, like, switch from console things started happening. Whatever big game that came out that pushed people to PC, probably Call of Duty and Spring. That was the ordeal. Dude. Elite is such a big case. I love it. I love the size, I just don't love the glass on top. Not a fan of it. Y'all already know that. All right, 4 more screws because of this dent. Trying to make it as flat as I can. Using the structure of the fans to kind of unbend it. I can't thank you enough. Ben, you built me a beast of a PC. Hey, no problem, man. Glad I made it happen. And I'm glad I got to share your excitement. And I'm glad you enjoy it, man. What I'm here for. All right, here we have it. Got our bottom fans installed. So let's go ahead and tackle this rear fan, and then we'll get these side fans removed. Once and for all. We don't need a reversed blade for this one, so we're going to go with the standard. But here, Joe, you want to take a look? That's what the bottom looks like. You can even see a little bit of the dent right here, unfortunately. But I mean, it's flattened out with the structure of the fan there. You could barely notice it. Once I get back here and start zip tying cables, we'll make sure these cables are nice and neat. but it's turning into a gem. These Lian Li fans are HQ. High quality. All right, so for this one, we're not chaining it to anything, so we're just going to get the connection on here, the cable that goes back to the hub, and then we're going to remove the old one and add the new one. And I got to do the peels too. Come on. Really not that difficult. Then add some character. Yeah, you could, you know, scratch it up, make it look like a bullet went through it or something, you know? Give it some character. That's just unfortunate with shipping. I don't think NZXT could have done anything different there. Right, we do have to unplug the fan. Here. Locating where it goes. Oh, they ran it underneath the power supply? Come on. These guys over at NZXT thought it would be a good idea, it's right here, to run this cable all the way underneath here, underneath the power supply up here to this top corner. So now guess what we have to do in order to get it out? We have to undo the power supply and lift it out a little bit. Don't do that unless you're never removing a fan. That makes servicing this thing a pain in the ass. Hope the guys over at NZXT are ready to go. Just for that. I mean, sure, it doesn't take that long to do it, but in my opinion, it's dumb. Actually, this is a good opportunity to check to see what power supply we have in here. Fit. Some of these connections also on the power supply are not completed. Those should have been completed. Those shouldn't have moved. Now our fan came out. Back to where we were. So we got our fan out, our old NZXT rear fan, and our new one goes in. Tight fit. All right, so we've got the rear fan installed. Now we're gonna remove the side. And then Joe, did you want me to do push-pull, which is keep these fans that are on this radiator on the back side of the radiator, and then put the new ones on the front side? That way you have 6 fans on the radiator. Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? What's going on, man? Welcome to the build stream, sir. Darton, let's go! And possibly afford the GPU in 2 weeks. Nice! Nice! Oh, don't mind me. I'm just squeezing my fingers in places that probably shouldn't fit. Next up, we're gonna tackle these side fans and get those removed. See if we can move this front panel first. So it would make life a little bit easier. How does this? Looks like 4 screws hold it in. Interesting design. I don't remember this in the H9 Flow. I think it just popped off on the H9 Flow. The Elite, however, has a metal frame around the glass that screws into one another to provide better support. Am I not doing this right? Now that I've got it loose, it's like, now I'm scared. Got 3 more. Screw it, I'm not removing it. Too much work. There's 3 more screws on the bottom and the top, just to remove this front glass panel. I don't remember that in the H9 Flow. You have no idea? Well, let's just do it. You won't even see it. I mean, you won't even see the fans. They'll be on the back side. And then you get slightly better cooling results on that AIO. Ran. Yeah, thanks. Man, I feel like I've taken this thing apart now. We're not even, like, apart. Screw bounced. Jumped in one of the weirdest spots ever. But we're removing these fans, and we're going to add these new Lian Li fans. Vertical the GPU, move the AIO. Doing all sorts of cool stuff over here on this NZXT build. Cool. You trust my judgment? Thank you, sir. Just so everybody's aware, we are streaming to Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X. If you don't see the chat here, it's because I don't have the chat window up. I'm not just chatting to myself. I promise. I'm not that crazy yet. I'm crazy, but not that crazy. These have all Alright, I can't see what's under here. Okay. Go up to the cooler. So technically, we could just unplug all these. Gotta come up anyway. Sorry, I'm all the fancy RGB or cable management by NZXT. Feel terrible. Not really. Because of this little bundle of joy here, we have to undo. I had a feeling it was Z3. Okay, one by one, we'll get these. That's two of them removed. And 3. Yay! Get it! I have to make sure this is where our CPU fans are getting plugged in. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, honestly, because it's going to be on the Lian Li hub. Yeah. I don't know, we're going to have to think about that because this is NZXT mixed Lian Li, and we're using the NZXT Kraken hub. Hubba. So, we'll think about that. Come back. That goes this way. Well, let's just drop the radiator and just go to town. We don't really need to take the block off the CPU, so I'm not going to do that. Just going to get the radiator down, and then we'll get those fans off of it. But I know the fans are free, so at least when we drop this, they're not going to get tied up in the back there. Best viewers on url.me. Oh, really? There's best viewers there. Okay. Cool. Hey, some giant idiot. Why don't you shush that guy? There should be a hub, Leon Lee hub in the triple pack. Yes, there is. But what I was talking about is the fact that we're still using the NZXT cooler, like the radiator and the block on the CPU. That still will require that hub, the NZXT hub on the back, I believe. Depending on how it's set up, I gotta figure that out. But yes, you are correct. It is a good thing you got the 3-pack because that gave you the hub that we needed for the fans. One twisty tie holding up the show right now. Or if we didn't use the NZXT hub, it's possible that that hub, that block wouldn't light up. Something you could control. Okay, let's see if it's even going to make sense to do this. Hoses on the bottom is generally the better position. I usually prefer it, but I think we're going to have to go hoses on the top because the length of the GPU is just not going to work. So we are going to have to go hoses top. Okay. Do it. Gosh, we're doing it. Yep, it's not going to fit on the bottom. I may have misheard. Oh, sorry. I may have misheard. Okay, it's a goofy bot. Yeah, I know, it's definitely a goofy bot. I 100% agree. Going with an Aurorus Masters 4090 because it looks pretty nice. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty card. Is that the one with, that's the one with the rings on it, right? Yeah, it definitely won't fit on the bottom. So the hoses are going to the top. I just think out loud, you know? Yeah, a little screen. Nice. Yeah, it's gonna look, that's a fancy looking card. It's gonna look badass. Okay, now that we've got all 18 billion screws undone, let's set that over there and get our reversed fans from over here. And you guessed it, we've got more unpacking and peeling to do. Compliments of Leon Lee. Yeah. It might need an Antec C8 to pull it all in. What do you mean by that? Put it... Oh, you mean the case size. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big card, so if you're not going vertical with it, it might be a good idea to get a wider case. I don't know, what case do you have? I don't remember off the top of my head. Or is it the 216? We already talked about that, didn't we? Probably. Yeah, the 216. Yep. It might fit it. But I will tell you the King 95 Pro will fit it, for sure. But I mean, the 216 is a pretty wide case, so it might fit it. I just have never put a 4090 in a 216 before. They've always been bigger cases. There we go. All right, so the key here is I need to borrow some of these screws for the back bands that we're installing next. We got to get this lined up. Oh shit. One thing I forgot is put the cable on. Which is thankfully at the bottom. It'll be fine. I did it right. They should release a tinted model for the King 90. It's actually pretty tinted. It's got some tint to it. So it's not as untinted as you think. Got a little bit of tint to it. Definitely a pretty case as is. Adding a little bit of tint would be cool, yeah. I agree. Alright. Then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And we need the cables going opposite directions. Yes. Flight mind. Airflow going that way. Flight mind F. That's how we're going to put them on. When we get it in there, we're going to have to do this very uniquely. This has to do. And we gotta do some weird stuff here. Do I have a box that'll support this? All right. Get rid of these now. Hopefully we have enough length on this. That's the only downside, is these screws might not be long enough. I have to take these washers off. Wait a second. I'm an idiot. I think we're going to have to run these washers. And the fan is not facing the right way because I'm special. The fan's just pulling that screw right through. Not a small hole, my liege. That's the right way. Ah. They should release, yeah. Dankest Rick. Ayo! How's it going, man? How's it going? Welcome back to the build stream, sir. Well, we're working on an NZXT build. And we're trying to fancy it up with some Lian Li. This is actually an NZXT pre-build. Never ran before. I probably should have checked that before I started all this. That would have been smart. Brand new out of the box. And we're just immediately putting these Lian Li SL Infinity fans in here. This build is not for Kane, by the way. I already did Kane's build. There. That's all we had to do. Let's fix that, shall we? Okay, so now all we gotta do is match what we just did and put the rest of these fans in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now we have 6 fans on a radiator instead of just 3. What we call push-pull. There's fans pushing air into the radiator, and then there's fans on the other side pulling air through the radiator. Bless me. All right, next up we need a triple thing back to people manage these. You boss. Go. What's that? Now we've got 3 banks of fans installed. We'll have to work out where the hubs can end up. Got a feeling right in this area here. So far, that's gonna probably be the winning ticket. Right around here. Now we just got to get the top fans installed, and then verticalize the graphics card. Ugh. On today's episode of Pimp My Ride, we have NZXT Ready Player 3, I believe. Yeah. Might get a custom bracket for the 7800X 3D. I don't know. It's not really needed for AM5. The AM5 contact frame, really not needed. It makes a way bigger difference on the Intel LGA socket to have that 1700 contact frame. So if you're building with Intel, that's when I say definitely build with the contact frame. In fact, most of my Intel builds, I will build with a contact frame nowadays. If not all of them. Aha! The hub that we were looking for, right? Yeah. The hub Joe mentioned earlier is in this triple pack, just like he said. We knew it was. Three more fans to go. By the way, Joe, Leon Lee says thank you. And NZXT sent you a frowny face. If computer part manufacturers had feelings, just most likely get the new Deepcool one. You put on the CPU instead of using the contact frame swap. Oh, so is it a direct die? Kind of like the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3? That thing's a badass AMD cooler, the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. My favorite cooler for AMD. Because it has the offset mounting. So it centers up right over that hot spot. Nah, it's a little copper thingy that covers the weird edges on the aim-5. Oh. So it's just a little... Sounds kind of like a contact frame. Yeah, no, I mean, it keeps it a little cleaner. Go for it. Why not? Why do these not want to fit today? Okay, I guess I'm just crazy and trying to put it on backwards. So, I'm pretty sure it wasn't backwards. Here we go, Joe. Last fans. Then we gotta plug everything in. Oh, that was nice and smart. Hey, let's be ready to put a bed, but not have the screws ready. I'm really showing off my expertise skills here. There we go. Now the screws are ready. No big deal. No big deal here. I'm going to put all 4 screws on each of these fans just for better support because it's vertically mounted, or it's fighting gravity. Not vertically mounted, it's just fighting gravity. It's only 9 Aussie dollars. They call them thermal. Oh, I've actually never used any of them before, but it reminds me of the Thermalright contact frame. But you say it doesn't replace the contact frame, so it just slips right in over the top of the CPU with that fill in the gaps. That's a pretty cool idea, I guess. I would just go straight to the contact frame at that point. They're about the same price. All right, Joe, we're getting pretty close here. So really all we've got to do is vertically mount the GPU, get that plugged in. After, of course, we plug in everything on the back side. So we're getting close here. It's about 9 o'clock right now. If you wanted to start heading this way, you could. I'll be here all night. So don't worry about getting here late if you still wanted to come by. And if I don't see a response from you, I'll call you. Ah! 2.0 headers. Well, that is problem. It is big problem not having headers here. We must find out if we are going to reuse that NZXT hub or if we need splitter. Aha! I have found splitter. USB 2.0 splitter. By NZXT. What? Oh, it is bedtime. All right, we're back. Found a splitter. We're gonna need it. Throw it in there. Do. 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 Need my reading. Oh wait, we have those on. Contact frame is $39 from Thermal Grizzly. I was saying Thermal Right, not Thermal Grizzly. Thermal Right, not Thermal Grizzly. Just gotta run these. Now we need a zippity zip tie. One more. The S is to be. Nice. Nice. Next, we just gotta plug all these in. All right. Good. The bottom's gonna be chain number. Oh. Or bottom. Chain number 2. Gonna be our side. Number 3 will be our top. It's gonna be that way we can go. Blah, 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 blah. That fun stuff is plugged in. Do the final cable management here towards the end. We're gonna get that graphics card mounted. I just know that we're gonna move the power cables for this graphics card while we do that. So let's get that done and over with. Actually, No, because it's coming in from the side again. Ah. Ah. That drives me nuts. Vertical mount time for the GPU, and then we'll decide on this power cord situation. I wish I had another power cord here. I don't have one that's quads that can reach to the back. That would solve the problem. But the power supply does not support the 12-volt high power connection. So that's unfortunate. The tall graphics card, so I'm going to send it all the way closer to the bottom. All right. Vertical card installed. Look at that. Figure out how to. All right. I guess the last thing we have to do is to fire this thing up and see if it works in the first place. Put it back together, maybe. There you have it. There she is. All of her glory. The reveal. Go ahead and fire this thing. Works. Well, that's a good sign, right? Fans moving. Display. Hey, Kyle, thanks for the like over there on Facebook. Appreciate you. Hey, DP. Almost 30 minutes ago. Thank you for that sub over there on YouTube, sir. Appreciate you. Don't think we're going to get the RGB up and running until we are in Windows and have the software. Good sign is that we are up and running. I'm going to try to bypass. Cool. Do 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 do. Yes. Oh no. I'm just setting up a local account with the name Joe. Just for you, Joe. We can get in there and get this RGB going. I think it's going to have to go through a firmware update on these fans. They have a very consistent firmware upgrading. If you guys give me a few minutes, I will have these RGB fans RGBing shortly. But I mean, the airflow coming off this thing. Wanted to see if Gigabyte actually removed fields. They did. L Connect 3, go. Windows is like, oh, you do have internet. What the heck? A minute ago when we were signing in, you didn't have internet. Now you have internet? Yep. Yep. Connect. Download for me. 44 seconds. Whatever servers Lian Li uses, they need to change it. Get those upgraded. Make them go faster. Oh, still 44 seconds left. All I want to do is download this L Connect software and run it. Come on. Oh boy. Oh, it's done. Finally. Run it. Huh. Apparently it cannot detect. Okay. That's it. Ow. That splitter. Definitely did not like running on that splitter. So that's a little better, right? Some RGB. So number 4, let's set quantity of fan. We only got 1 here. 3, 3, and 3. Fly. There we go. I'm going to just sync the fans to the motherboard. Actually, no, let's just run the profile, target the CPU speeds, CPU temps. Good, good. Oh boy, that video card driver's out of date. Probably update that. Try to get everything up to date so that all Joe's got to do is plug it in and start downloading stuff and play. You know? Make it easy. Download. Go. Fire up the NZXT cam, make sure there's no firmware upgrades there. What's your spot? I don't know. Don't look the same. Tiny spot. Found it. Ugh. Still listening. The good news is it fired right up. Let me just make sure that the NZXT cam is still reporting in after I unplug that other hub. Go with white. Yeah. All right, TikTok viewers, we're all done for the night. I'm gonna just switch it over to a side view, which you guys don't have. Have a good night, guys, over on TikTok. Looks amazing. Thank you, some giant idiot. We're gonna get a side view profile here in just a second. I was just saying goodnight to the TikTok viewers because we don't have a side profile view over on TikTok. Not yet, anyway. Because TikTok forces me to use a secondary app. Hold on, let me get this camera sorted out. I know it's blurry, not cool looking, whatever. Where'd this thing start up? There it is. Come on. Right about there. Yeah? Up, up. No, that's not the direction that we wanted to go. Nice. Well, you could take a look at my room and me if you want. Camera malfunctions, you know? What am I gonna do? Not much I can do there. I don't know why this thing likes to rotate that way. It wants to pull to the right. Whatever. There we have it. There's a side profile view that's semi-crooked because, you know, my camera doesn't want to behave right now. I'll dick around with it later. There we have it. We're all fired up. Oh. going on there? Now it's spinning. Here, let me bounce you guys some more. Sorry. Through this camera. Well, there you go, guys. You saw it here. We took an NZXT pre-build and we turned it into a Lian Li 11 Dynamic. An H9 Flow Elite to a Lian Li 11 Dynamic Evo. We Lian Li-ified it. But all right, guys, I'm all done for the night. We will be building probably again next Friday night, I believe, is the next stream. We might be able to slip one in Thursday, tomorrow night, but Friday and Saturday for sure are going to be build streams. And we'll see you on that next stream. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us. Hope you guys enjoyed the little fun we had here with the NZXT pre-build. And Joe, I will see you soon, very shortly. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you Friday for sure. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.